So we are here for the post-match presentation in this the first encounter of day number 6 rather, and we have 3 matches up, and so we're gonna do the first post-match presentation. We are here with Kem Charles, the captain of the Saffron Strikers. Kem, things not really going your way today.
No, firstly, I think we give away too much runs in the first innings. 10 to 15 runs too much. But nevertheless, we went out there and tried to chase, but unfortunately, we didn't.
All right. When you look at your bowling, what really would you say was the downfall of that bowling unit today?
I think today was the first time we got jumped in the power play. Other games we've been bowling pretty tight, so I believe we got tested a bit and we didn't adjust. So yeah.
All right, well, really good stuff from you. That's at least so you know what needs to be fixed. Good luck to you as you progress through the tournament.
Thanks.
All right, so we're going to be speaking with the Bayleaf Blasters captain, as Micah Narain. Roland Cato, sorry, the Clove Challengers. And so we... All right, Roland, a bit of a smile on the face. Things seems to be coming together nicely.
Yeah, I mean, after losing the first game, winning 3 games in a row, and we had the momentum with us, so we are pretty happy.
All right, you seem to be in a good space. The ball seemed to be traveling when you put back the ball. You have the likes of Darren Ned, who is continued to just seem to be getting into form. What do you say to these guys at the end of this match because you have the momentum?
I mean, going out to play, we play as a team. So at the end of the day, we don't depend on any one player. You know, whoever gets in on the day, we just ask them to carry it as deep as possible. I myself got out earlier on today, and I think the way that Ned batted was brilliant. He stayed the innings, played with aggression, and basically played good cricketing shots.
All right, so the momentum is with you. What would you say to your fans here now?
I mean, we're enjoying the support so far. If you watch across there, you can see a lot of people cheering out when we get our wickets. So we're pretty happy, and we're happy to make them happy. So at the end of the day, just come out and support.
All right, wonderful. So there we had it. That was the captain of the Clove Challengers. And we're going to now have the presentations. And we will begin with the impact bowler. And so we want to present the check to the impact bowler for today. And none other than Sheldon Joseph. And he will receive his award. All right, Sheldon, a good day with the ball. You seem to be in a good space, the ball coming through rather quickly. Give us your assessment of your day's work.
Well, at the end of the day, everybody knew I was bowling the depth. So at the end of the day, I come out, execute, which the captain asked me to come the one for the last over, 36 to get in 2. He tell me, giving me 5 to work with. I go out and I do that for him and come a victorious in there.
All right, wonderful. So what can the fans expect from Sheldon Joseph going forward?
Same thing and nothing changed.
All right, well, good luck to you as you continue, Sheldon. And we are going to continue with the presentations, and we are going to present the Carib Power Hitter for this match. And that award goes to none other than Darren Ned. And Darren really striking it well. All right, Darren, you seem to be coming into this tournament really nicely. You're getting to really post some good totals. I remember complaining that we're not seeing much 50s, but you seem to be raising your hands to bring some 50s within the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a feeling to get 50 under the belt, but having a rough start in the tournament is always good to come good.
Wonderful. You went out there, the fact that you lost 2 early wickets, what was the mindset?
When it wasn't any pressure going out there, even though we lost the 2 wickets, just go out there and just play my game, keep it simple as possible, and when I get the bad balls, put it away.
All right, so I want you to just talk to the Clove Challengers fans and even the Darren Ned fans. Tell them something.
Thanks for supporting and keep supporting.
All right, wonderful. But Darren, don't go anywhere because you are also the man of the match for this game. All right. Well, again, man of the match performance. How does it feel? Your team seem to be getting some momentum, and you seem to be one of the catalysts for that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's in a good spirit. I've been playing some good cricket for the past few days. And I want the guy continue and keep going well.
All right. So thank you very much, Darren, and good luck to you and the Clove as you move through this tournament. So here brings an end to the post-match presentation, and we're going to be getting back to the ground shortly for the next encounter number 2 of 3 in this Super Saturday. Is the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament coming to you from the Lassages playing field. See you later.
Oh, it's high in the air again.
Can you feel the love on a stranger's face?
Look at the West Indies.
West Indies cricket is all our legacy. Is our energy when we come down big. Time to rally around the West Indies. It's in every creed and race. West Indies are the holy grail. Whoa, West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and sweet steel drums. Whoa, no boundary could stop we might. When the West Indies unite, everybody charge up. West Indies going high up, full of energy. Celebrating, cricket is the game we love. A smile on every face, representing where we from. Cause it's our energy when we come down here. Time to rally around the West Indies. It's in every creed and race. West Indies are the holy grail. Whoa, West Indies is where we from. Sunshine and sweet steel drums. We might when the West Indies unite, everybody charge up. West Indies going high up, full of energy, energy. Everybody charge up. West Indies going high up, full of energy, energy. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. Where we come from, 6 is red in dough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where we ignite the whole stadium. Look around, is all away. Jumping up past Pamalaya. Tell the bad vibes not today. West Indies full of energy. Look around, is all away. Every hand up in the air. Cricket is the game we play. The West Indies full of energy. West Indies full of energy. Whoa, it's full of energy. Whoa, look at energy in the place. Energy when we play. Energy all around. Yeah. Everybody charge up. West Indies going high up, full of energy, energy. Everybody charge up. West Indies going high up, full of energy, energy. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So welcome back here at the Lassages playing field. Match number 12, Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. And we expect another big one, Ginger General versus Believe Blasters. Again, conditions continue to be very good, Justin, and we expect an exciting one.
Yes, indeed. And expectation that at least you and Jeremiah will finally come to the party. You haven't done so yet.
Yeah, as we are speaking earlier today, some of the top players, we really haven't seen them coming on. It was good to see that Darren Ned would have done well for Clove Challenge. So some of them beginning to come into their own. And Johan Jeremiah, we know the quality player he is. Still have not been able to see much of him. And I would want to think that he will take the opportunity today.
Hopefully.
To make sure Ginger Journal have a good start. First delivery. Again. Not much movement of the feet there. So looking again for the big hit. Ginger General's taking first knock. And interestingly, we see spin. Again, opening the bowling. The off spin of Alvin Ramnat. They come through very quickly for the first run.
Rotation of strike would be always very important. You don't want to give the bowlers an upper hand by bowling 2 and 3 and 4 deliveries at you. And of course, that will mean also that it will hamper your rate of scoring.
The big hit in Anil Matthew.
Again, he's
coming off a brilliant century not too long ago in T20 game.
It's another one again that the Ginger Generals who haven't really gone on to post a reasonable target yet, total yet.
Lofted straight.
Yes.
And after first maximum as ball pitched up. And the batsman, the Anil Matthew, who is used to clearing the boundary.
Yes, indeed, and easily too.
Hit it straight and went for the first maximum carry power hit for 6 of the inning.
Ramnat immediately under pressure.
Yeah, given I think that delivery a little bit too much air. And Matthews was really happy, equal into it, and lofted it. The first carb hit. So 10 coming off the first over. Ginger Generals batting first at 10 without loss. Again, we see spin opening, coming off, spin opening the bowling once again. And we have seen what has happened when the slower bowlers come on. We don't see the volume of boundaries or the speed in which runs are being scored when the spinners come on.
And I also looking interested to see how the Ginger Generals, when they take the field, how they're going to approach this. Remember, we didn't see pace until the 8th over in the, the previous game, yes? And certainly bamboozled their opponents. So I think they would take a similar approach. I don't think they would change that right now.
Well, we see Dwayne Walcott, so we have pace from the other end. First ball hit down to that point region, and let's see, it goes all the way. Shortest delivery, and Jeremiah got on really under this one and lifted it over backward point for another carry power hit, 6.
Of course, and well-timed well played. It was short. It was outside the off stump. He didn't look to go across it. He just ensured that he cleared the boundary down behind point on the onside, on the offside.
What was evident, it was a proper cricket shot. Shortish delivery lifted. And he just got under it and then lifted it and cleared that backward point region very easily. And one would think we see the number of max six that have been hit here. It's not a small boundary.
No, it's not a small boundary.
Not a
at
small
all.
boundary. It speaks to the quality of the pitch. Again, Walcott looking for really too much pace. Once again, he bowled another wide. So that's 2 in the over. Just short his length outside the off stump. Jeremiah allowed those 2 deliveries to go. It's 18 without loss. This second over. This one he cut square. Walk for the fielder down on the boundary and just have a bit of a fumble there. And the batsman pick up 2 runs in the process.
Didn't cost him too much in the end. I'm not down there on the cover on the third man boundary. But reasonably good start, you could say, by the Ginger Generals. They have lost wickets and lost a number of them very early in previous games.
A lot of peel balls go down the leg side. Seem to come off of the pad tie indicated by the umpire. But interestingly, there was not much enthusiasm by the bowler Walcott.
And the batsman didn't show an admission of guilt.
Walcott actually turned and went back to his mark. It's 20. Swung down to at long leg region. And let's see, it goes 1 bounce into the boundary for 4. And that's shortish delivery. And Jeremiah making full use of this one. Just seemingly to getting into his own. And what was evident in all these shots that was played in this over was proper cricketing shot.
Indeed.
Short ball, he get inside of it. Lifted it nicely over that long leg area, down to the boundary for 4.
Yes, and that is more like what we expect, what we want to see from you and Jeremiah. And for the viewers, of course, it will be very refreshing to see you and Jeremiah get into the runs.
Yeah, he looks pretty comfortable playing really proper cricketing shots. We look at the 6 that he hit, and you have been stroking the ball coming off the middle of the bat. This is the sort of start that should give him all the confidence and need that he could continue to bat on. We're still in the second over. It's 27. And the right-handed Anil Matthew. Again, we see a number of wides being bowled only in the second over. And we see Walcott in his 5 deliveries has gone for 18 runs so far. And has already bowled 3 wides.
This is probably the first time Ginger Generals would have passed 25 without being probably 3 down. They have certainly struggled to keep wickets in hand at the top of the top of the innings.
And that completes the over. That's the second over being bowled. 28 without loss. Matt Jeremiah on 17. And Anil Matthew on 7. And quite a confident start.
Yes,
by Ginger General.
Yes, of course. And a comfortable 1-2. As I said, they haven't had that in previous games.
We have seen, wickets falling very early, first and second over.
Yeah.
Well, we have 2 completed overs here. No wicket has fallen. That's Alvin Ramnath, the right-arm off spinner. This one is swung down to mid-wicket, down to the
Oh.
fielder who drops it. And what a bad miss there. That ball was picked up and swung straight down to the fielder at mid-wicket. He got both hands to it. And as we would see in the replay, it just was not able to hold on.
We look at it again. He seemed to have just probably run past the ball to a beat and then having to take the catchers almost behind him again, on the side of him again. And as a result, Dante Alexander, who normally have a safe pair of hands, couldn't hold on to it. You look at it again. Johan Jeremiah not getting hold of it, ball coming off Modi in a portion of the bat. And as we say, probably he may have just run past it.
Yes, a big miss there for the Bailey Blasters. One get the impression that the ball was traveling pretty quickly and it stayed low. So he had to get in and get down quickly. When this one is swung down to mid-wicket, and that goes down to the boundary for 4. Pitched up, and Matthew going with the tie there, the off spinner, and swinging it over mid-wicket. And he's picking up another boundary.
Yeah, so just starting to move on a bit, move on now. One saw what happened yesterday. Nikosi Saint-Hilaire been dropped, easy chance in the outfield, and at the end of the day, he made them pay dearly for that. And you give a chance to Johan Jeremiah, you may well see another case where he makes you pay and pay dearly. You don't give chances like that to good batsmen.
Probably he maybe need a chance to get started.
I guess
he looks so far he looked very good in the wicket, and probably that's the first one you could probably see slightly fall short, but I wouldn't say just unlucky, hitting it straight to the fielder, and lucky that he dropped it. He swung in once again. This go high in the air, backward square is going back. Where does this just drop? And goes
maximum
for Carib power hit, another maximum. Going down on one knee and swinging it over and clearing that backward square boundary rather easily. So Jeremiah pushes on to 24. It's 42 into the third over.
They're making very good contact. In a portion this time, came up the middle.
Playing smoothly through the covers. Going to run very close to the boundary, goes across the rope now. Again, shortish in length, and again, really proper cricket shot. Back and place it nicely between that cover and extra cover, and race down to the boundary for 4.
Well, as I said, that chance may just spur Jeremiah into producing something big now. He has been given that chance, and that shot was just an excellent shot. In fact, there was a cover and there were extra cover, and they were not very far apart, but he managed to pick the gap, and had it raced away, none of them could have pulled it back.
So 3 overs completed, 46 without loss. Quite a really good start by Ginger General. Jeremiah, 28 from 12 deliveries. Anil Matthew, 14 from 6 deliveries. Rather confident start.
In the back of the minds of Dante Alexander, he'll probably need to make amends for that missed chance.
So Alexander picking it up from the southern end. Again, you're viewing Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. It's the 5th edition. Actually, the 2nd edition played here at the Las Vegas playing field. Just a bit about Dante Alexander is another young player that come to the system from St. Mark's and played at the under 15, under 19 level. Quickly represented his parish and now part of this T10 tournament. I can tell you he has come on quite a long way in terms of his bowling. Played down to third man for 4, again shortish in length, and played wide off the third man, which was a little bit fine. And once again, Matthew picking up another boundary, again with a good shot, really good shot, in getting into real good position, played nicely, and the third man fielder had no chance.
Well, again, a good cricket, delivery shot outside the off stump, and he just steered it away down towards the third man area for 4. So short and wide down the leg side, and given a wide, it is very wide and short and wide down the leg side.
Just to go back to Alexander a bit, as I said, he come through the system. It does generate a great deal of pace. I think one of his attributes is being able to move the ball. He does have that ability. Now it will call for a lot of concentration, a lot of focus in terms of line and leg. Hit down to long on. Again, one bounce goes down over the rope for 4. Picking that up like the Anil Matthew. And just swinging it down to long on, which is vacant. The fielder, wide of the long on fielder. And there's also a fielder on the mid-wicket boundary who really didn't have a chance.
So just putting their foot down on the accelerator now.
So the score quickly go up to 55, Ginger Generals. Right, an impressive start. Yeah, Alexander going for 9 in his first 4 deliveries. Jeremiah 28, Matthew on 22. Just about 5 extras. Yeah, again, just showing his ability, Alexander, in terms of bringing these 2 balls up, and just seem to be just moving slightly as Matthew, looking for the drive. Again, playing in the act, looking to play right. And that ball passing the outside of edge. So good comeback by Alexander.
Very good indeed.
That concludes his first over. Dante Alexander going for 5. And after 4 overs, 56 without loss.
Yeah, 28 to Johan Jeremiah in 12 deliveries. Anil Matthew is on 23 in 12. And Alexander would feel that going for 10. Not too bad in the circumstances, based on the way things have been going so far. So 56 without loss, only 4 gone. Projected score 140, but we expect things to slow down a bit probably at some time. Or whether the Ginger Generals can continue to blast away.
Yeah, quiet period. Pretty quiet period here at Lassages, but it has been probably one of the better starts we have seen in the tournament. The opening stand of 56. And as I welcome Clyde John with me, he will confirm whether or not this is the best stand. It's now moves to 57. Someone is hit down to long on. And the score into the 5th over, 57 without loss. Pretty good start.
Yeah, really good start. As I say, good afternoon to you, Rafael, and to the viewers of the live stream. Really, Ginger Generals, they seem settled this morning in this encounter. And definitely we're looking forward to seeing them. They have a good batting lineup, but they have struggled to really put the partnerships together that can win them games consistently.
Yeah, we were making a point earlier on today in that some of the teams some of the top players, they just seem not to be able to come to the fore as yet. We saw this morning a good knock from Darren Ed. He's one of the top players. We only saw one good inning from Keto, 60-yard, but I agree with you that we haven't seen the likes of the Jeremiahs, really coming to the fore. But this start is promising.
Yeah, it certainly is promising. I think everybody knows what
Swung,
Jeremiah can
lovely
do.
shot. Goes over midweek. That's a huge hit there. Jeremiah really got into position. Shortish delivery. Deposited this one over midwicket with all the ease in the world. Really a tremendous shot. And there goes another Carib power hit.
Just as I was about to say it, we all know what Jeremiah can do, and this is the sort of thing that we know from Jeremiah. We saw that blister in 97 in the Breakout League, where, he hit shots like these on a consistent basis. He was clearing the ropes and clearing it by far.
This is why, we look at this game and we expect our top players based on their ability. We expect to dominate and to do well. Cricket being the game it is, it just takes one ball. And sometimes, even when you're probably coming against opponent that probably might be lower in terms of level, you struggle. But class is class. And certainly that shot was played with all the class in the world. Just illustrate the quality of player that he is.
Yeah, I quite agree with you there as they bring up another single. 64 without loss over number 5. So they're just on the halfway. It means that they will get that 120 and above once they continue at this rate. Maybe look at the challenge in that 135 that was set by the Cinnamon Pacers as the biggest score in the tournament so far.
But the start that they have, again, should indicate that you really should get over 130 with ease. We had 127 score this morning, and when we also thought that they would have get up to over 130, that wasn't the case. But this really is a encouraging and promising start. 66 without loss after 5 overs.
Yeah, the Bay Leaf Blasters, they would need something to happen for them if they're going to pull back this rate. The current run rate of 13.2, that's quite high. I think this, if they continue at this, then certainly 130 will be on the cards. So they need Narayan and Joseph, who is going to come into the attack from the pavilion, and they would need Joseph to maybe pick up 2 quick wickets here. Wickets is one of the easiest ways to really pull back the game. Having that new batter coming in is always important as a bowling unit.
Yeah, definitely need wicket. Just a look at the teams quickly. Ginger Generals, Johan Jeremiah, John L. Eugene, Dennis George, Jared Gilks, Gerald Jeremiah. We have Ronald Williams, Davis Charles, Anil Matthew, Cleveland Bartholomew, Kishon Abraham, and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Certainly, Ginger Generals batting first. Actually, was sent into the bat. The toss won by Bay Leaf Blasters.
Yeah, wide delivery signal there. The real property Grenada Bay Leaf Blasters. And their captain is Michael Narayan. And they have the likes of Teddy Bishop, Dylan Douglas, Imran Joseph, Wavel Benjamin, Dante Alexander, Kieran Kotoy, Alvin Ramnat, Dean Walcott, Shaquan Olive, and Dina George.
Ball swung high into the air. Where does this go? Is there anyone getting on that? Let's see. It goes down to long on and just clears the boundary for yet again another Carib power hit.
Yeah, there you see Jeremiah just launching into that one, looking to hit it straight. Really, we've seen quite a few batters get out trying to go to the wide long on, but this time he went straight and really got full connection, and it sailed way over the ropes
for another carry power hit, but Jeremiah quickly moving to 42, eye and a half century. This will do his confidence a world of good.
Yeah, he should. Really do his confidence a lot of good. Swung again, and this one goes down to long leg. Watch this go. And once again goes for another power hit. Ball slanting down the leg side. He picked it up and hit it over long leg.
Yeah, what was really good about that shot is the way he got into the position quickly. He just swiveled, not really looking to turn, but just used the angle, and he lifted it really nicely. So he's really motoring on now. 48 from 18 is Jeremiah, and in this form, certainly we can expect a big score from him.
Well, it will be interesting to look to see if this is not the quickest 50 in the tournament. I guess you will have to check back to see what's happening there, but really he's been traveling really quickly. Jeremiah is on 48, 18 deliveries. He hit 1, 4, and 6 maximum. Really he's traveling. Ball just seemed to have bounced and go over the fencing. So the ball will be replaced. But really has been an amazing start by Ginger General. 79. Just going into the 6th over. And it's what we come to expect from our top players. He has really taken advantage on, and not necessarily loose bowling, but being able to put away the bad ball. I think what I feel good about is that he's playing proper cricket shots. And look at the score, just after 5 overs. And really, you look at both batters, they all been playing proper cricket shots. Joseph.
Again, Joseph under the pressure responds well with that short delivery. And he will be called one for the over. So he has to think about how he can escape this over for as minimal runs as possible. Still 3 deliveries to go.
Yeah, certainly he wouldn't feel good. Imran Joseph being roughly treated, knowing the competitive nature in his game. He comes around the wicket, hit down to long on, and goes down to the fielder. Makes a good stop.
Yeah, good. Ball just not carrying there. Jeremiah not really getting full hold of that one. But smart delivery by Joseph. Took the piece off and asked Jeremiah to really use his power to get it through.
Yeah, and you can see that there are some words coming from him and Joseph to Jeremiah. This is the sort of player that he is, he's very competitive. Not afraid to give you talk, the bantering, all in good spirit. That's the kind of cricketer he is, represented Grenada. Even though it came on late, but did create an impact, swung over the keeper head, and the fielder and the long leg boundary comes around. Again, one imagine you would say a few words to Anil Matthew. 81 without loss, we into the 6th over. Ginger General will be very happy with the rate that they are going.
Yeah, certainly the Generals will be happy. 81 means that they are on course, close to 140 based on the projected score. Still the bowlers under tremendous pressure. Slow delivery by Joseph, signal wide. You can see that he's thinking, he's looking to outfox Jeremiah. And this is what you need as a bowling unit when you're under so much pressure. You need the bowlers to be confident to try, and etch out a wicket somewhere. So Joseph will certainly hope that he can get this big wicket for his team. against piece of delivery. And what was important there, it was Yorker length, so Jeremiah couldn't get underneath it. So bringing an end to over number 6. 83 without loss.
Yeah, they would be happy with that start that they have, really.
And with that single, Jeremiah brings up his 50.
Yeah, well, a tremendous knock he had. His 50, Jeremiah, 50 of 21 deliveries. I had 6 sixes and 1 4. Really have been dealing with maximum. But important start, the Ginger General. Just looking at the team, and one would think that they have to really fire from on top if they're going to do well. Looking at the quality of batters from the team, that John and Eugene coming at 3. And then you look at the makeup of Gerald Jeremiah, makeup of the team. You know, a lot will have to depend on the top order.
Yeah, the top order of the Generals boasts of some really good players.
The experienced Narayan ball hit into the air. Fielder is coming around. Let's see. I don't know if he get his hand to it, but we'll see. Again, Jeremiah looking to clear some way. I would think, whether you wanted to hit this some way over long on or just seemed to take the outside edge and went high in the air and just behind the cover fielder who was trying to get to it.
Yeah, Narayan, a very tricky customer with the ball. We saw him in one of the earlier games pick up 3 for 10 in his 2 overs. Just always seemed to be in amongst the wickets.
Yeah, very experienced cricketer. He himself came off the under 19. I don't think there was under 15 when he played, but I know that he was on the under 19 team, and this was a player for Grenada that one could always call on. One remembers him in St. Vincent, how he performed up there. A tremendous player that have a lot of knowledge. He's very knowledgeable, a knowledgeable cricketer. And as we see, even as he lead that team, as he begin there, begin to show a lot of guile, a lot of variation in the way that he bowls.
Using the wide Yorker ploy. Just looking to slow the scoring rate somewhat.
Yeah. There's quite a bit on Narayan from the St. Mark's area that have represented Grenada at the under 50, under 19 level. So we do have some players here from St. Mark's. I think it's Redmond to be exact. A heavy cricketing area. It's Redmond.
Yeah,
not
really.
sure if it's
I think a
not sure
bad
if-
miss there. And this is what I surveyed the field a while ago with the fact that I've seen the first 2 deliveries be wide Yorkers. He had the third man up. He sent him back and he pulled the man at that point region a little bit finer. And it was hit straight to him. Couldn't
High in
hold
the
on.
air once again. Could anyone get to it? Fielder coming off the boundary. Takes the catch. And there goes the first wicket. Again, tremendous bowling by Mike Narayan. He really bowled well. And this was a slow one. And we saw that Jeremiah looking to clear the mid-wicket fence. And just was not able to clear it. Just hold out. The mid-wicket fielder coming in off the boundary and taking a simple catch.
Yeah, really, really good, sensible bowling. This is the experience of Micah Narayan coming to the rescue of the Bay Leaf Blasters. Really, he tried 3 deliveries, wide Yorkers, and then he just decided to pull one a little shorter, a little wider. And Jeremiah looking to tug it to the mid-wicket. He could only succeed in getting the top edge.
So he's replaced by his brother, Gerald Jeremiah. But again, we seen the experience. We seen the bowling of someone who have gone through the process of understood this game. And Mike Narayan You know, he's one of the players that I hold in really high regard. His love and his interest for the game. And you know, Rondell, that he he leaves office work, leave his boss, and come to play cricket. And really, that's the interest that he shows. Really committed cricketer.
Yes, certainly has always been a committed cricketer, Micah Narain. And as we said, his experience, he's always, you know, able to bring you that sort of insight. You talk to him, he would tell you, look, I'm not worried. I can do this. I know exactly what to do. He just always seemed to know how to respond.
Jeremiah is hit on the pad. Loud appeal. That ball, again, is hustled onto him. So he didn't have a chance. It was a quick delivery. Again, tremendous bowling. And Rondell, you have a chance to look at that replay. I didn't glimpse it, but it might be nice if you can look at that replay once again. But really was really a loud appeal. As the player was, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, pitched outside the leg stump. I think this is what.
Just pitch outside the leg stump, yeah.
Yeah, just pitching outside the leg stump, but definitely hitting him in front of the wicket. But it just pitched outside the leg stump. And here he goes, just chiding at him, letting him know that he got away.
Yeah, good decision. Really, good decision. So we have the completion of seven overs, 86 for 1. Ginger General having come after a very good start of 85 for the first wicket. With 3 overs to go, 140. With the loss of Johan Jeremiah, will take some to get up to 140.
Yeah, and this is what we've been talking about. The fact that Joseph came on, though he went for 17, but he finished his over really well. And Narain came in to complete his second over, and he completed his 2 overs, 1 for 12. So the pressure is what helped there to reduce the scoring rate and reduce it very drastic.
Joseph, Jeremiah pleaded and actually got through. Wide now being signaled by the umpire.
Yeah, but we see a lot of thought going to Joseph's over so far. That ball wasn't very pacey. Again, his load up there, you're seeing him, he's trying to use that subtle approach and then look to generate that pace, but offline. But you can see that he's always thinking every delivery, he has an idea of what he wants to do.
You know, I put it down to maybe consistency in terms of his workload, his work ethics. We know that Imran Joseph do have a great deal of pace. This is the thing that really attracted. This is the thing that that really made a difference when he came in with the pace that he bowled. I think one of the weaknesses of his bowling is being erratic. Like all over the place, you will come in and want to bowl too quickly, and probably need to pay just a little attention in terms of his approach to the wicket and how he delivers. Maybe that he's struggling a bit with that. We see him over the years, and that seemed to be the same problem he seemed to be having. Whether he'll go over or around the wicket, but his strength has been pace when he just came on.
Yeah, certainly very pacey. Again, slower delivery. So deciding to go pace off. And not just pace off, but try to get it as full to the batter as possible. Yorker length. And so far, they're doing a good job in terms of pulling that scoring rate back. This is the sort of good tightening that they need if they're going to restrict that score to under 130.
Uh, that's a wayward bowling. Another.
Yeah, the keeper there making a really big effort to hold that one. I think that might have stretched all the muscles in his body.
And again, you could see him pulling the hand down really quickly and not really aligning. This is why I think he will continue to bowl wide. Just need a few adjustments in terms of his delivery stride. Just need a few adjustments. Continue to really struggle in terms of his wides. 90 for 1 into the 8 over. Anil Matthew 28. And his 28 came from 17 deliveries. Joel Jeremiah has faced 2 deliveries, not hit off the mark. Again, just some concern by the umpire. And if you're able to pick up anything.
Yeah, I really didn't get what the concern was. Oh, he was just checking for the front foot, no ball.
So it is a no ball by Joseph.
And so it's a free hit to Jeremiah. Joseph there guilty of overstepping. Again, good slower delivery. Jeremiah looking to really go after this one. He misses. Really should have made use of that. Anything you get, you take it. Again, we see the difference with the way Johan Jeremiah went about the in, and he stood. He really played good cricket in shots. Not really looking to go after, but you time the ball, you get it, it's a free hit.
Yeah, I must say it was very evident in the way that both opening batsmen played. You know, nobody. I think they really, and one has to give him a lot of credit in terms of the way that they played. A number of the shots that he played was played off really, good cricketing shot, bad deliveries, and given the right treatment. I always speak about you getting into position to play a shot, and we saw it. And it really has been a very impressive start. And now we see that Bailey Blaster just looking to pull back a bit. Ball swung straight. Where does this one go? And this one goes down to the fielder who really make a mess of it. And Benjamin there, ball hit straight down to Benjamin at mid-on. And got put and it and failed to hold on.
Yeah, Benjamin, normally you'll find him behind the wickets. He's in the outfield today and really not doing the business. This one seemed to caught him instead of him catching it. And flushing the stomach and ball going right through his hands. And at this level, you do not want to be making these sort of mistakes. Pressure already on, only 1 wicket taken. You want to capitalize. Wickets means that a new batter has to come.
Yeah, and anytime a new batter comes in, right, it really slows the pace, make it difficult to get in and then start again. There's not much deliveries remaining for a new batter coming in once again. And we see the frustration from Joseph there. As he run in and really bowl this one quick. And short down the leg side. Keeper having a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it's disappointing when the catches go down, but as the bowler you have to come back and come back well. And Joseph just struggling there to come back for the sake of the Bayleaf Blasters. Needs to close off this over and close it off well. 1 delivery to go.
Yeah, and he would say some words to Benjamin. It's two sort of players, slow delivery hit long, down to long on, and they're going to just drop just about a foot Oh, it signals 6 there. Want to get the impression of drop in front, but once again, another carry power hit. The ball was hit over long on for 6.
Yeah, good timing there from Matthew. Yeah, just clearing the rope and barely getting it past the rope, but getting it past the rope, he did. And so carry power hit, he moves his total to 34. 34 from 18. And so 100 comes up with that 6. What they have done well, though, the Bay Leaf Blasters, is that they've slowed that run rate. At one point, you were looking at least 140. And the fact that they got Jeremiah out and Narayan was able to build that pressure. Joseph maybe releasing it slightly, but certainly it's a good move now to have Dana George in to see if he can further slow things down.
Yeah, he's sort of player that really skillful, use a lot of variation. It'd be interesting. See Jeremiah's approach. Full toss, hit high. Let's see, the fielder comes off the long on boundary and settles on it and take a rather simple catch. And a full toss really should have done a lot better with that delivery. George picking up wicket in his first delivery.
Exactly so, and this is what we keep saying. The wickets tend to slow the rate. Jeremiah not really getting the sort of connection that he wanted, and Bishop looked at it. He had to come in a fair way. He got in there and took a pretty simple catch. But this is what the Bay Leaf Blasters would need from here on in, and they've been doing the business really well in trying to stem that flow that we had from the first 6 overs.
Yeah, pulling it back here, really good. I thought that Jeremiah was looking for power, and sometimes it's just position and placement. And you can see him looking to swing that full toss. I knew somewhere about mid-wicket or long on. And just holding out.
So John L. Eugene comes to the crease. Eugene has been in among the runs so far within the tournament. And one will, for the sake of the Ginger Generals, one will hope that he can add to his tally. He's number 6 in terms of the run scoring.
Hit me.
So he will add one more to his tally. He's scored some 86 runs in his 4 matches. Well, that's 87 now. So he's in 6th position.
Yeah, touch player. Really demonstrate technical quirk that he is. Rather, it's good to see that we have a colleagues from the Windwards being part of this tournament. We also have Buffett from Barbados. Bowled him. Again, Matthew looking for the big swing. And this for once he was in no position really. And the ball taking the bottom of the bat and getting onto the, as we say, onto the off stump here. Bat one way, the rest of the body the next way. And certainly is one of the shot we felt was one of the ways that we felt they would have been able to get rid of in terms of playing good cricketing shot. This was not one.
Well, I think he was certainly beaten for lack of pace. Had to wait and could only succeed to get the inside edge onto the stump. Again, clever bowling by Dana George. And so he has picked up 2 wickets to really put some pressure back on the Ginger Generals, who had that really flying start, that frolicking, that rolling, that you can find all sorts of adjectives to describe that start. It was so good.
102 for 3 over number 9. Jared Gilks.
Yeah, Jilks hasn't really been in amongst the runs as yet. But one would hope that he can maybe just play a cameo.
Hit that very hard. Dunk to cover and goes for four. He really put bat onto this one, given the room there. And it flew across the cover region and the fielder on the boundary. Really dive, had no chance.
Yeah, you look at the power in which this one was struck. Alexander had a few meters to run across, but really couldn't cover that ground because the ball went like a tracer bullet.
Swung well, down to mid-wicket, over mid-wicket for a carry power hit. Our Lord picked up that really well. And the mid-wicket fielder just had to stand and look at it, clear his head.
Yes, certainly the sort of cameo that you need now. The Generals, they needed that sort of cameo. 10 from 2 balls. Pressure back onto Dina George. Really came off the middle nicely. You heard it, the way it cracked off the middle. And so Jilks just looking to do the business for his team.
The sort of inning that is required now with just 3 wickets down. Swung. So that completes the over. 113 for 3, 9 overs completed. And that over there from Dina George, he picked up 2 wickets. Certainly went for just 12 runs in the over. So not a bad over overall, although he's hit for 2 boundaries in the over. So we are now into the final over, 113 for 3.
Yeah, it signals a really good comeback from the Bay Leaf Blasters. They just need to close it off here properly and try to keep the Ginger Generals just inside the 120 region. It will be very difficult bowling to the likes of John L. Eugene and Jared Jilks. So Alexander, again, one of our under 19 players, will want to make sure that he closes off really nicely.
The final over is about to be bowled. Dante Alexander coming from the southern end.
Again, bowling with some good pace, Alexander. Does have the height advantage.
Yeah.
And the generally what will be a pitched up delivery for another bowler, it comes up to you as a back of a length. Really does use that height well.
All credit to Billy Blaster. They have really come back strongly. High in the air. Where does this go? Another carry power hit ball. Pitched up. And he came forward and really lifted it nicely over long off. And carried way over the ropes for a maximum.
Yeah, guilty there of just getting too close to the batter. You do not want to get so close to the batter. He had a good line and length earlier and just needs to replicate that for the next few deliveries.
Just a cameo by Jilks. He quickly go on to 17. And he has faced 5-6 deliveries now. But that's hit to maximum in this inning.
Yeah, and this is more of what you need from Alexander. That length that proves to be very difficult. You can't drive, you can't pull. Just an in-between length.
Short delivery swung, and this one gonna clear the mid-wicket region very easily. Once again, we saw again Jilks.
Let's look at the replay. Notice he took that step back to make sure that the ball was in that hitting arc. And as Alexander pitched that one, he just latched onto it. So really good thinking from Jilks.
Yeah, good shot. Another Carib power hit. He's really played a blinder, really good inning. Just facing 7 deliveries so far. He's on 23. In that 23, he has hit 3 maximums. So he's scoring in 6s. 125 for 3. Eugene on 1. Churchill on 23. Hit the zone down to long. They look for a second run here. It's a long on fielder and Bishop. Just juggle a bit to that delivery as he moved his right. 127. So we had the first team to this scoring 127 in their first inning. And 1. And here Ginger General finishes with 127. Yes, 127 for 3.
Yeah, 127 for 3. At the start of the innings, Rafael, you never really expected them to finish there. We were looking over 130, but 127, you will take that.
But the umpire seemingly just trying to confirm whether or not he overstepped was a no ball. So just trying to probably confirm, maybe third umpire or the match referee.
Well, I guess they're questioning the height. The square leg just signal in there, so it seems to be the height of the delivery, whether it was over the head. Square leg just maybe confirming.
So his scores just probably ending up just around the same, 127. But Billy Blaster would have really come back strongly based on that tremendous start there at 85 without loss. And probably just about 6 overs.
Yeah, certainly the Blasters have come back well. We've seen the scores 126, 120, 124. They've been proving to be very tricky, very difficult teams. Once you do not get a good start in that power play, it tends to prove to be even more difficult. And so white signal. And so it's 128. They're drawing closer to the 130. Alexander on a bit of pressure to close off well.
I think that's maybe 2 balls of the height, probably the height. Hit down to mid-wicket where it also clears the fence. And once again, another power hit. Ball pitched up. And Jills continued to play a tremendous inning, finishing with 31. Just going with the tide and hitting it over mid-wicket.
Yeah, 31 off 9. You take this any day as a batting unit. That's a really good cameo just to make sure that they get to that 130 mark. Jeremiah at the toss said they were looking for at least 127, 120, just around the 120 region. So they have 10 more to play with.
Yeah, ended up 134 for 3. But one obviously still have to give Billy Blaster some credit. The pace they were traveling at to end at 134, I think they would feel that they still did well to pull them back to 134.
Yes, they really did well. That after that 6th over mark, they got the breakthrough and they really tried hard to make sure that they stemmed the flow of runs. But Jilks was in a different frame of mind and not allowing them to settle and to really close off that innings. He came out and played that blinder, that 31 from 10. I mean, that's a whirlwind innings.
So match number 12, Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. Believe Blasters versus Ginger General. Billy Blasters won the toss and asked Ginger General to bat first. And they ended up 134 for 3 in their 10 overs. Johan Jeremiah caught Walcott and bowled Narayan. He scored 51, 25 deliveries. He had sixes in that inning. Anil Matthew was bowled by Dennis George for 34, 19 deliveries. He spent 44 minutes, had 3 fours and 2 sixes. Gerald Jeremiah didn't last too long. He was caught by Bishop, bowled George 7 deliveries, just 11 minutes. John and Eugene not out on 1. And Gerald Gilles played a really masterful knock of 31 from 9 deliveries, and he had 4 sixes in that inning. The 134 for 3. Alvin Ramnath started 2 overs, none for 28. Walcott, 1 over for 18 runs. Dante Alexander, 2 overs for 31. Micah Narayan, 2 overs. He went for 12, picked up 1 wicket. Imran Joseph, 2 overs, 31. And Dina George, and his 1 over, he picked up 2 for 12. And the finishing that match, the Ginger Generals 134 for 3. Believe Blasters really would be looking to get 135 for victory. We now going to take a short break, and we'll be back with you shortly to see the reply of Bailey's Blasters. So welcome back here at Lassa Just Plain Field. Again, sunshine is continuing to be bright here. We are about to see the reply. Believe Blasters need to get 135 for victory in what is expected to be a very keen contest. I welcome with this afternoon, Pastor Warm. Good afternoon.
135 constitutes a pretty good total. It's going to take quite a bit of getting to overhaul this total. Both teams got good batters. So I think it sets up for a very, very interesting contest here. And they've got to be going hard. And they've got to think about hitting a lot of boundaries, Bayleaf Blasters. No doubt about that. You're not going to get that total in singles and ones, in ones and twos. You're going to get that with quite a great deal of boundaries.
Well, they will have to score the highest total by any team to win this one. I think the highest total before 135, they will have to get up to that score. Superb shot, clip with all the ease in the world. Ball just slanting on the legs and really picked up really nicely by Kieran Kotoy and clipped over the short fine leg down to the boundary for 4.
It was a lovely shot. A ball straying just on the leg stump and got inside the line and just helped it along with the tide, and it went for 4. Beautiful shot. He did it nonchalantly. Well, it is so nice to know that your first delivery results in a boundary. Kotoy will understand how important it is for him here to get off to a good rousing start.
So Jonathan Taylor it is. In the air, the mid-wicket fielder is going back, takes the catch, and what a blow struck there. Taylor coming back really strongly to pick up that important wicket of Kieran Kotoy.
Kotoy never really went through with the shot, and it's no question as to whether he was tentative. He played half-heartedly. He didn't, it's almost as if he checked the drive, didn't go full-bloodedly into it, and the ball spooned down to long on, and the catch was taken. So this is an early blow, very early blow, that the Ginger Generals have struck, and Bayleaf Blasters, well, they've lost their first wicket as a result of the second delivery. And again, Raphael, we see wickets falling in the first over.
Wickets falling in the first over. We haven't seen it in the innings of Ginger Generals. We haven't seen that with they put in about a good 85 before the first wicket fall. But again, that seemed to be the concern right through the tournament in terms of the quickness that wickets fall.
Yeah, the ball probably wasn't quite there for the drive. He sought to make it into a drivable ball, hitting on the up. And it wasn't quite there for that. He checked it. But the checking of it allowed it to be spooned on and the catch taken. So Kotoy goes back, just the 2 deliveries, 4. He must be pretty disappointed with that shot.
Yes, particularly after the first shot being played with all the ease, all the confidence. Really played it easily. Taylor coming back and picking up that wicket. So Dylan Douglas, and this team do boast of some top Windward Islands players. There's Teddy Bishop. There's no Dylan Douglas.
Both are animated strikers of the ball. They can hit the ball rather cleanly. And it's a good opportunity for them to showcase their batting prowess and experience too. Touch too wide outside the off stump. Wide signal by the umpire. There was some threat, Raphael, of showers earlier on. There's heavy cloud cover, but it has blown away, and so far we've had good conditions.
Well, yeah, we did have some showers last night and into the morning. Interestingly, when we came here, this field looked really in splendid condition. The ball continued to race off the surface. So really, there was no sort of rain that would have affected the field in any way. And yes, there was probably a bit of a overcast this morning, but really the condition remained really good. Even up until now, it's really good conditions.
Yeah, certainly agree with you. Delivery outside the off stump. Looking to cut, but didn't get over the top of the ball, Douglas. So many of these players tend to play with the body so far away from the bat. They've got to look at that. I know, Raphael, it's important to free the arm. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you want leverage, but while that is the case, still getting to the pitch of it is so important. And to get to the pitch, you've got to use your feet. That's fundamental to be able to get to the pitch of deliveries.
Yeah, you must move. You must move. That ball was short outside the off stump, and yet he was in a position to free the arm. But when you could stretch and you could barely get to it, you really cannot get the power. You can't get the control. If he put a step across, as you would have done, that ball should have been really been flushed down to backward point. We're not seeing movement. This one go high into there. Let's see the third man fielder is coming around, settles on it, and takes another simple catch. And there goes wicket number 2, Dylan Douglas. Again, no movement, just swinging at it and taking the edge and going high down to the third man area. And that fielder down there in Kishan Abraham coming across and taking a rather simple catch.
That is really poor batting. It is poor batting. I've got to chide him. Now that's outside the off stump, and he's drawing his body away from the ball rather than getting close to the ball. If you're drawing your body away from it with a delivery outside the off stump, the only thing you can do is reach for it. And he did reach for it. The ball peeled off the outside edge, spiral, and the catch taken down there on the third man area. So you're talking about batters who should know better and who should have greater experience. Certainly, that looked poverty-stricken. Really wasn't good.
Yeah, we're really not seeing it. And, you know, we was speaking a little earlier on, and the point is that we find that the players that would excel, you know, even as they in this level or probably the shorter version, it's players who come to the system and don't play in the longer version. So you learn the cricket the right way. You have the basics. When you comes off of that, then you could easily move on to the shorter version because you already go through the basics. You know what needs to be done. It puts you really in a better position to be dominant at this shorter level. We've seen, you know, shots being played, you know, the body's one way and bat trying to reach the delivery. There's no movement in terms of getting in line. It's exciting to see the opening pair of Jeremiah and in Matthews. And this was different. I think they played so well that, you know, I continue to see all the shots they played were proper cricketing shots. And they scored runs, hit down to backward square, and that tremendous effort they just clipped narrowly, clipping off the body. And the fielder at backward square, they make a valiant attempt. That ball traveling really quickly, and just was able to stop it.
Now, Ryan yesterday had, I think, a 1-ball duck, and almost went for a 2-ball duck.
Yeah, that looked like Jeremiah in that backward square position. Low and the travel really quickly, but he did well to get down and stop it, Jeremiah. So we have the completion of over number 1. Sorry side, believe Blaster starting 7 for 2.
Yeah, the required run rate is 14.22, which is rather high. And they can't... They really want that to keep climbing. It's important that it doesn't keep climbing. So these couple of overs are going to be crucial.
Driven down to mid-off and goes down to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Narayan, giving himself some room, but really was in really nice position and stroke it over extra cover and picking up his first boundary.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot. It was a shot that was met with confidence, reached out to the ball, got close enough to it, and drove it neatly.
Dennis George, this one is swung. Yeah, let's see the fielder mid-on coming around and take the catch. And Narayan, after that first boundary, falling, again looking to repeat that shot. And the experienced Dennis Narayan picking up his first wicket in his second delivery.
Yeah, Dennis George, as Eugene taking the catch, that spiraled and turned out to be an easy catch. It really didn't go anywhere. Interesting that, Rafael, because George gave it flight. And as if to say to Narayan, look, I'm flighting this, go over the top. It is a little risky from the context that if you hit it rather well, then it can go all the way. But then if you only miscue it, the chances of being caught is also high. And that was astute bowling. Now you've got to have a lot of confidence, Rafael, to throw it up in the air like that.
Yes, and I think it goes back to the point we were making because there was no movement by Narayan. He just stood and he swung, looking to hit it on the volley, on the up. And as such, not getting close enough to the delivery. Really was not able to get power. He wasn't able to get any placement. As such, he didn't really hit it from the middle of the bat.
It's interesting that the score is now 11 for 3, and Teddy Bishop, who has opened the innings, has not faced the delivery as yet.
Well, we see Imran Joseph is now into the strike. Maybe knowing Imran Joseph as one that's really going to hit the ball, going to take the attack to the bowlers.
Yeah, I really like what I see here with George. He is bowling very, very easily. He doesn't seem tight whatsoever. He's not tight. He's got a very easy approach to the wicket. That one is dropped a little shorter and hit down to the long on area. Notice it was shorter. Bishop was onto the back foot.
Oh, he's still waiting for the signal of the umpire, whether it went all the way or it went one bounce. I certainly haven't seen a signal. He's still waiting. But Bishop was equal to this one. It was short and had the time to get back and lifted it back over the bowler head. And we are just still trying to verify whether it went all the way or he dropped one bounce. No, has signal 6.
Carry power hit maximum confirmed. So Bishop is 6 from 1 delivery. There is an appeal for leg before. Bishop looking to make room outside the leg stump. The ball cannon into the pad and dribbled out on the offside. So 2 overs coming to an end, and after 2 overs, Bayleaf Blasters, they're 18 for 3.
A very interesting over bowled by Dennis George. And Dennis George, as we know, very experienced cricketer who would have also played for the region, West Indies A team, under 23 team. So he would have gained a lot of experience. And with his left arm spin, he continued to do well in our local tournaments. His first over, probably just a little bit on the expensive side, going for 11. But has once again shown the guile, shown his experience, picking up the wicket in that over, the important wicket he would have been able to pick up in that over. And certainly it's a good start, 1 over, and he picked up 1 for 11.
Yeah, picked up an important wicket too. Delivery that was tempted to say slap down to the deep point boundary, but I would say, rather patted.
Yeah, again, because he had to reach for it.
Yes.
He had to reach for it and just played it down to wide third man. The timing wasn't there, again, simply because he should have been closer to it. Picked up a single, Imran Joseph, known for his hard hitting.
Yeah, they go through for a single. Get it rather comfortably too. And I did mention the importance of a total like that. Chasing it down must be boundary studied. But the rotation of the strike and singles and twos, they're extraordinarily important. Don't miss that. There was Joseph just meandering out of the crease, and the bowler in Taylor on his follow through, just coming through rather quickly and threatening to run him out. No danger though. So Bailey Blasters at 20 for 3, they still require a further 115 in only 45 deliveries. It's a tall asking, as tall as almost 15 and a half. They've got to be going now to cut down that required run rate. It's too high. Push down to third man and gets a comfortable single. That's Joseph, who's now got to 3 of 5.
Yeah, good to see Joseph there. Just taking his time and playing this one down to third man. Really has been Taylor in the second over. Been keeping them fairly tight. Not giving much away. Already picked up 2 wickets. And 2 for 10. It's continuing to keep things rather tightly.
Yeah, it has been a good spell here by Jonathan Taylor. Not only has he picked up 2 of the 3 wickets to fall, but he is also being rather economical. Into his second, just 1 delivery remaining, and he's 2 for 10. Can't ask more from him.
In the air, someone's going to get under this one. Let's see. Falls in no man's land. One that really should have been taken by either the mid-on fielder
or the bowler himself.
Or the bowler himself. And Bishop looking to play this one on the onside. And it seemed to be a slower delivery. And went high into the air. And that chop just behind. Really should have been taken.
Really should have been taken. It stayed eternally in the air. And finally decided to come down, and by the time it was down, well, a couple of the fielders were not in the ideal position to take the catch. They call it falling in no man's land. So some 3 overs gone, and Bailey Blasters, they're 22 for 3.
Very good bowling by Jonathan Taylor. And in his 2 overs, Taylor would have picked up 2 for 11, and really could almost with a 3, but really good bowling by Taylor.
There's a strong appeal for cut behind, and the umpire signaled that was wide. Joseph is maybe asking the umpire to be more emphatic with his calling the wide. Here's George. Big swing, Bishop. Just trying to again reach for that. One wonders whether using the feet and getting closer to the ball. You know, you just wonder how much things have changed in regards to the dynamics of the game of cricket. The conventional getting to the pitch of the ball and keeping your shape, that seemed to be slowly going out the cricket window.
It has been smart bowling by George. Not up too much, but just in that area where the batsman had to reach. And this one, you expected that he get a little bit closer to And even as he drove at this one with no way in control, went down to mid wicket. But again, seeing the batsman stop and just stretching. One of the things that happened in our days that from the time we see a ball thrown up, we leave our crease.
Yeah, you're ready
So
to dance down the pitch.
we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that in today's game.
Yeah, gets a single down to long on. But it's interesting that Dennis George is not afraid to flight the ball. He's giving it generous flight. Just the one delivery that he pulled down a bit and was flatter and faster through the air. But by and large, his trajectory has been high. He's given it great flight. That one too, given flight. And can't get it over the infield. This is fascinating here. Fascinating not necessarily through batsmanship, but just the bowling is quite admirable. This time he gets under it and lifts it high and hard over long on. And that's gone for carry power, hit maximum. This one flighted. Yes, right in the slot. And he just came forward and lifted it over long on. Mighty blow. Great shot. Bishop goes to 15 of 10.
Yeah, good shot by Bishop. And this one was really over pitch, as you said, in the slot. And he just had to step and hit it straight. And it went over long on for 6. But Dennis George and his 2 over, I thought bowled very well, very skillful, not afraid to give the ball air. This one, I think he gave it too much air. It was too close to the batsman. And he had no difficulty in hitting straight. But his spell of 1 for 20 in 2 overs, I thought really that he would have done very well in his 2 overs.
Oh, yes, he has done what he is called upon to do and capture the wicket in the process. So they've not galloped here. The required rate has now jumped to 17. That's a huge asking now. They've got to go, both Bishop and Joseph, with all guns blazing now.
Well, we had to see a blinder from someone. Joseph do have the ability. He's out-stumped. As he came forward there, and that ball just seemed to leave him. We are going to see what happened there with his delivery, but really he was caught in no man's land.
Yeah, he jumped down the pitch so quickly. And the movement was so quick that the bowler obviously knew what to do. Pushed it just slightly wide so that the keeper didn't have much difficulty to take it. And the stumping was an easy one. If you're going to move down the track, Raphael, you've got to be selective. If you're way too early, you give the bowler an opportunity to change direction, change length. Now, let's look at it again. Oh, I thought they would just replay it. How quickly he moved out of his crease before the release of the ball.
And particularly coming down the track to a spinner. You definitely, this is something you need to be aware not to move too early. Right? As you see, he's coming down there and look at where the ball is. You know, he's...
Yeah, really far down. He didn't stand a chance. 4 down, Bailey's Blasters. 31 for 4 in over number 5.
Well, I don't think he heard us because we speak about in terms of one of the strategy you need to face spinners that using your feet. I don't think he heard us. But there's obviously a way that to use your feet.
That's correct. There is a correct way to do it.
But he came down straight. The ball outside there, he came down straight. Really was not in any position.
So Jonel Eugene making the replacement.
Has been a really good performance by the Ginger General so far. I really have taken control.
Eugene pulls it down a bit. Ball pushed down to shortest third man. They will come back for a second.
Yeah,
because of an overthrow.
that was careless there by Taylor.
Dana George and Bishop, they've got some repair work to do. In the air. Taken down. Right down on the boundary. Another wicket has fallen. Really didn't cue that well at all. That went so high in the air, it would have taken quite a bit of catching. And in the end, it was taken quite comfortably. So another wicket has fallen. Bayleaf Blasters, 33 for 5.
Yeah, Dana George was no way close to this one, not to the pitch of it. Just stood and swing. And it went high in the air down to the fielder at long on, who really came in really comfortably. That's Abraham and took out a simple catch. And Eugenia struck in his first over, picking up the 5th wicket. Bayleaf Blasters 33 for 5. And they certainly require another 102 runs and really in more than a spot of water.
Yeah, now this is really horrendous batting. Really, if there are youngsters here looking on, I would advise them, please, try to discard what they've seen so far by the Bayleaf Blasters. That's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, it has been really poor shot selection. And it really starts off from ball number 2 with Kieran Kotoy.
Onto the back foot and cuts that one down to the sweeper position. Gets a single, the return comes into the keeper. A good one. Brings Teddy Bishop, who's only faced only 10 deliveries in the innings. He began, in fact, opened the innings, and it was not until I think was the 3rd over that he was able to take strike.
Yeah, it's actually the end of the over, really. But, as you said, he's been there for 15 deliveries and just 10 runs. It's similar to the batting this morning of Jackson. Jackson, who would have opened the batting, and he was the last out, the 10th over, and scored 21. You only faced 21 deliveries.
All of these fine details are so critical. This one is lifted down to long on, and they get a single. Just wondered why it took so long to Bishop to take the single. Maybe he thought that it would go long to the boundary.
High in the air. And now the long off comes in. Getting under it. Let's see. And takes the catch. Really. Bishop there looking to clear long off and really just hitting high into the air. And the fielder had to come in quite a way. Take it.
Well, it's interesting, Raphael, because when that ball was hit, stayed a long time in the air, Bishop began to walk away back to the pavilion because he knew that he didn't hit the ball well. The timing was bad, and he just knew that the catch would be taken and began to walk away even before the catch was taken. Not very often you see that taking place. Very rare.
Oh, we see really 6 wickets down for 35 has been really some poor batting by Bayleaf Blasters. Really poor batting.
You think that was the right thing to do, Raphael? What's your thoughts about it?
Well,
it's in the air, staying a long time. Certainly looks as though the catch will be taken. The batsman begin to walk away.
Yeah, well, it just certainly doesn't give the probably the right intention, the most positive way. Because even though it looks as though he can be taking it, it can be dropped.
Okay, so here is it. He begins to walk away. The catch is not taken, but he's walking back to the pavilion. Now, we'll talk about that a little more. as Dante Alexander faces his first delivery. So Charles has picked up 1 for 1. Now let's assume, for example, the catch were not taken. The opportunity for a single would have gone a begging.
Yes, certainly it's not the right. It's not the right principle. You don't just turn your back after you play a shot and walk off. A lot of things will happen when you play that shot. As you rightly said, the catch can be dropped. This one is hit high, and this one will go for carry power hit over long off, straightest long off. Ball giving some air, and Dante Alexander giving it a long handle, hitting it cleanly over long off for 6.
Yeah, maybe too, you're asking, have you seen any difference in the pitch, Raphael, in regards to whether the ball is coming on, maybe not coming on as it has been with the previous matches?
Definitely not from where I sit here. It's not an issue with the pitch. My belief is an issue with the selection of shot played by the batters. Because if you look back, that shot that Bishop got out with there, I don't think he played. What he actually he stayed back and tried to hit the ball on the up. And hardly reached Junker long off. I don't think it was an issue with the wicket. It's really the shot selection and really positioning of the shot. Hit down to square leg, backward square for another 4. Actually going for another curve power hit maximum. A full toss and given the right treatment there. Dante Alexander, no nonsense mood, starting with 2 maximum.
Yeah, it didn't look at first as whether it was going to go all the way, but he timed it magnificently. And it went down to the backward square area, went down on one knee and swept it. It was a great shot. 6 overs gone is 47 for 6. The required run rate now 22, so it looks rather improbable from here, except every over from here can go for in the 20s.
So just to go back to the Bishop issue, but I think it's important. You had to have some positiveness about you in terms of playing the game. And you play a shot into the air and you're not sure that the catch is going to be taken. Now, you actually, from the time you play the shot, you turn your back. You don't care what happens after that. But that's not how the game is being played. As we read to say, the catch could have been dropped. And what happened if the batsman was actually with the catch dropped and the batsman was still running, hoping that the catch would have been dropped? Therefore means, so there's 2 chances. Either there's a run out because you turn your back and you're going off, while the non-striker is coming through, hoping that the catch is being dropped. So there's not really it's not the kind of thing you want to see in the game.
Yes.
It's really not the kind. It doesn't speak to that sense of positiveness in terms of how you play. Yes, you are disappointed, but you had to wait until the process has completed before you move.
I agree with you. I thought that was premature. And it also suggests that it's almost saying, I'm not happy with what I'm doing out here. It might be better I go back to the pavilion.
Williams hit down to where? Where does this go? Down to Abraham and another catch being taken. Just views just been obscured a bit. Again, you could see that wide. And he swung it. And Abraham feeling that mid-off coming around and take another easy catch again. You see the batsman is here and they swing into a ball way outside the off stump. Really could not get power and really couldn't get control.
Yeah, the ball is not coming on to the bat sharp and quickly, really. And that doesn't suggest that this pitch is playing onto it. No. It's just that these batsmen are not adjusting at all. You know, they're losing their shape with just about every dismissal they've had so far. The batsmen have lost their shape. And the whole batting technique really has not been good. This has been, to me, one of the poorest exhibition of batting that I've seen in the tournament so far. 47 for 7 over number 7.
And what we are seeing, yes, the bowlers are using the skill in terms of slower delivery, and nobody seemed to be picking that up. Because they're the best, you have to stretch for that delivery. And as you see, it pays off. So it therefore means that you have to exert more power if you're going to get it anyway. But when you, biomechanic goes, when your body is free pulling one side and the batters, you cannot have, there's no coordination there.
That's correct.
And certainly.
Dwayne Walcott facing his first delivery from Ronell Williams, who moves in from the southern end. And tugs that. Will come back for the second. The return comes into the non-strikers end. Just tugged it down to long on and got 2. So he's off the mark with the first delivery he has faced. Just 22 balls remaining in the innings. And the Blasters, Bailey Blasters, they require a further 86 runs.
Really has been a struggle for Bailey Blasters. We have Teddy Bishop. He's one in double figure, scoring 15. And Dante Alexander, known really for his bowling, is on 12. The only 2 players without getting to double figures. So it really has been a poor batting display. A team which speaks of Cotoy and Dylan Douglas. Really. It have been a good dominant performance by the Ginger General so far.
Yes, seem to have done everything right with the batting and with the ball too. And they have fielded pretty well. Quite a number of catches have gone in the fielder's direction, and they have taken them. So important to have a good all-round game. Will tend to produce positive results. Delivery outside the off stump, had a big swish at that one. Dante Alexander, he is 12 from 4. We're into over number 7, halfway there in the over. This one is sliced down to backward point. There is a chase down the backward point sweeping boundary. The return comes in. Very good return. And the batsmen were able to cross for just, in fact, got 2 runs.
That smart bowling there by Williams. Good thinking. Slower delivery, pitching it wide. And Alexander having to reach for it and came up there. Just clear the point feeler, or the gully, and he picked up 2 runs. Again, another good over bowled by Williams. His first over, Williams, and he has gone for 5 in that over, so really has been a good over. Again, Williams, as I said before, one of the youngsters who would have represented the island at the under-19 level, good thinking cricketer, and comes from the same area with Alexander, so they would know each other very well in St. Mark's.
And so good, Rayfield, to see cricketers coming from the various parishes. Really, there are some years when cricket in various parishes blossom. Remember the good old days, of course, back in the 70s, particularly when cricket in St. David's was genuinely good. So many teams there were playing in the St. David's League. We had administrators back then who loved the game. Stanley Roberts One of them was gone home. The great beyond.
Ulala.
Ulala. One of the other, that's McSween. They have made great contributions. But all the parishes have produced outstanding cricketers. Good to see that there are a few of them coming out from St. Mark.
Yeah, you speak about that. That was seen in maybe all the parishes. You could have think even about St. George's, where you had intermediate, first division, second
Yes.
division. So a lot of cricket being played. St. David's both had 18 teams playing in St. David's League at one time. Then you had the Western League. You had the amount of teams in St. Andrews. You're not seeing that now. So really things have taken I don't want to say a nosedive, but things have really changed in regard to the amount of persons that plays cricket on the island and the amount of persons playing in the parishes. A hit down too long, unless see the fielder coming off there, just allow it to drop and a single to Dwayne Alexander. He's on 15. So we're into over number 8 is 54 for 7. Ball goes in the air. Let's see.
The catch
third.
is going to be taken. Yes. Just there at point. Ball taking the outer portion of the bat. Went in the air. Dolly turned out. Easy, simple catch. Was looking to tuck that seemingly maybe down the ground and took the outside edge. So another wicket has fallen.
Well, the off spin of Davis. And to the left hand, obviously the ball leaving him. And he's looking to pull it somewhere down to mid wicket, coming off the edge and simply catch in the cover region.
So Walcott makes his way off after being caught there at a squarish cover point area. And so Bailey Blasters, they're now 54 for 8 in over number 8. 54 for 8.
Yeah, challenging the lowest score in the tournament. I think it was 59.
Yeah, it has been and will be an unforgettable day by Bailey Blasters. They really made a mess of this target. Never really seemed at any point as though they had any great, strong, urgent, enthusiastic interest to go after the bowling. So some 8 overs gone, 81 needed in 12. That's absolutely impossible. And we'll wait to see what Olive and Alexander's approach would be for the next 2 overs.
Yeah, very difficult task. Almost impossible. But credit has to go to the bowlers. They have kept things rather tightly, and as you said, pick up the catches that came their way. Someone just dropping short of Jeremiah, who was at backward square, and then the one that loved up and just fell behind the wicket. Or to the exception of those 2 areas, I thought that they were very good in the field and taking the catches.
Yeah, it's talking about cricket played in the various parishes, Raphael, and having done quite a bit of research about the development of cricket in Grenada, which started starting back to the 1800s. Of course, Victoria was one of the very early teams that played in the tournament, that played cricket. St. George's, obviously, that's where it started, so to speak, the Mecca. And both St. John and Victoria had pretty good teams. And then St. Patrick got involved. And so all of these the western and northern parish, cricket was played heavily in these parishes. And St. David, in fact, turned out to be the last parish where cricket really got popular. And it was not until the 1930s, really, when it really took off in St. David's. But prior to that, in the 1800s, St. George's, Victoria, St. John, St. Patrick's, those were the parishes that were deeply ingrained in playing cricket.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I never knew that. Yes, St. David's was last to really get involved. Information that I think, you know, a lot of us, even as cricket enthusiasts, does not know. But again, as you said, the Western League just boasts of really some tremendous cricketers as far back as I know. But really, he would have taken off, for we had really strong tournaments in St. George's in terms of the divisions.
Yes.
And
Grenada was always a very enthusiastic country. The over comes to an end, 9 overs gone. But the first real big match that was played in Grenada was in 1887. That's when an All-American 11 team came to Grenada, came with the SS Barracuda and came off the Carnage area and immediately had gone to Queen's Park to play against a Grenada 11. And the team was captained by Captain Bixby. So that was the first time that an international team, so to speak, came to Grenada. But Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they've had exchanges of matches back in the early 1900. Quite a lot of cricket. In those days, the Cork Cup tournament was vied for.
really valuable information that really is needed to see where we come from. As we looking at Williams in the 10th over, this one hit down the long on. Ronald Williams went for 4 in his first over. So the Ginger Generals, 5. He has now taken 1 for 6. And he's bowling this 10th over, 57 for 8. And really has been a overwhelming performance by the Ginger Generals, both with the bat and summed up with the ball.
It's interesting too, Raphael, that the Cork Cup tournament, which was vied for many years, Dominica was not part of it because Dominica was not part of the Windward Islands and didn't play in the Windward Islands tournament until 1939.
Driven straight back for 4. And ball pitched up. And Alexander, who's playing a good hand.
Yeah, he certainly is.
He moves on to 20 and really has done pretty well.
Yeah, he hit that one straight. And the straighter you hit them, the more productive you would be. In over number 10 now, 61 for 8. This is going to be a huge margin of defeat.
Okay, just short of the mid-wicket fielder. Looking to pull a shortish delivery from Williams. It's all about over 62 for 8. And, we are into the 10th over. Still requiring a further 73 runs and just 3 deliveries remaining.
Just wonder whether we should say they require 73 of 3, Raphael. Sounds more embarrassing than anything else, doesn't it?
It really would be a huge, huge defeat. what a performance by the Ginger Generals. Really, like Billy Blassard had really no chance. When they batted, one got the impression that it would get up to at least 140. That didn't happen. Billy Blassard came back strongly to limit them to 134.
It was always going to be a difficult target, though. It's always going to be a difficult target. 134. That one
That's
is
a
pulled.
tremendous shot played there. What a shot played by Alexander. Picked that up on the up and swung lustily over long on for a car power hitter. Oh, a tremendous shot.
Yeah, great shot. And he enjoyed it, you see. He really enjoyed it. Shot, and he was waiting for it. Just pulled the front leg out of the way a bit and swung hard and lifted that over the deep mid-wicket area. And for the umpteenth time, balls gone in those directions could be deemed lost and got to get a replacement ball.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that some word have been expressed there that he's certainly going to see something to his senior player in William. William being more senior to him, all from the same area. I'm pretty certain that some exchange. He's going to see some words to Williams.
All within the fun of the game and good camaraderie. Yes, the game must be played hard, within the rules, of course, but played hard. But while that's taking place, there should still be good sportsmanship by everyone. That's what it's all about.
So one delivery remaining. Blasters 69 for 8. Williams playing a good hand, 27 from 14. This one is lofted. And it's going to go down to long off.
Yeah, pull back just inside. And that completes the innings. A really poor display by Bayleaf Blasters. So the Ginger Generals, they've won by 64 runs. Huge marching of victory.
Yeah, have been a dominant performance by the Ginger Generals. After being asked to bat first, I thought that they make really good use of a solid opening stand of 85 in quick time, just about 6 overs. And then, the Billy Blaster probably would have pulled back a bit to have them out for 134. But from ball 1, ball 2, they really struck and continued to strike. There was no sense of partnership between the innings of the Billy Blasters. No one got going. We had 15 from Teddy Bishop, which was not as fluent as we normally know he will score. And then we had the innings of 28 from Dante Alexander at the bottom half. But really, I think Ginger General all over Billy Blasters, and really, they didn't have much of a chance.
Well, you talk about Teddy Bishop, who in the end played an uncharacteristic innings. And one wonders whether frustration didn't creep in from the context that a couple of overs were bowled, didn't get the strike within the first 2 overs of the innings. That can be something very unsettling for any batsman, especially if you're opening the batting. You want to know that somewhere within the first or second over, you should at least be able to face a ball. So that's one of the frustrations obviously he had. And then, of course, he wasn't really timing the ball very well. In addition to that, a couple of wickets had gone down. Massive total. It really doesn't, you've got to be really strong mentally to be able to put all of those issues that are contrary to what you would really want, to place them behind your back and still play positive. So just look there, you notice, Raphael, that 2 wickets for Jonathan Taylor, also for Eugene. Charles also picked up 2. There was 1 apiece for Williams, and also Dennis George, who gave the ball quite a great deal of flight. So the wickets were shared, and every bowler, in fact, got a wicket. That's very good. I'm sure the captain would be very happy with that. All the bowlers turned up and turned up well. None of them turned out to be very expensive. Only Dennis George had 10 runs, went into double figures, had 1 for 10 of 2. The others fell under that 10 economy rate. Great performance by the bowlers.
You got the impression that they were basically fully in charge, always in charge.
Just looking at the batting scorecard, Teddy Bishop, 15 of 11, not very fast going. And it was Dante Alexander who scored some 28 of 15. He's the only one that looked to shine a bit. The rest of the batsmen, notice only 2 batsmen getting into double figures in Alexander and Bishop with 28 and 15 respectively. The others were single digit, not a good batting performance at all. In the end, they could muster only 70 for 8 in 10 overs. It really was a deplorable batting performance. They will have to go back to the drawing board and obviously look back and see what they've done badly and hope that they can redeem themselves. When the Ginger Generals batted, well, Johan Jeremiah, he had 51, 25 deliveries to get there. Anil Matthews supported very well with 34 of 19, and Gerard Gills had 31 of 9. Dana George had 2 for 12. Micah Narayan, as usual, steady, 1 for 12. And Alvin Ramnath, a bit expensive, none for 28. So that basically is the summary of the match. The Ginger Generals, they won by 64 runs.
Yeah, certainly convincing victory. I think they played really the better cricket and certainly deserve to come off with a big win here today, a win by 65 runs. And really all credit goes to the captain, Johan Jeremiah, the rest of the team. But again, just to go back quickly to the frustration of, as you probably would have mentioned, Bishop in terms of the shot that he played. This is what makes you a good cricketer, because you will have to face those sort of frustration. You will face the difficulty where you have a lot of unfortunate out, maybe some tough decisions. Maybe you have been just being a good player in form and having something will go against you. That sometimes it causes you to wonder, when you go to score your next run. It's part of the game, and I think in his case, he would have gone to the highest level. And coming out playing for the West Indies senior team, one would think that you are going to grow in terms of your mental strength dealing with situation. This to me is a small one. I agree that over a few overs you haven't faced a ball. That again is part of it. You have to show the experience now and move with the tide. We didn't see that from him. And what would have crowned it is when he was out. When he turned his back and didn't even bother about what happened behind. You doesn't want to see that negative attitude from a top player. And I thought that, we expect something certainly better coming out from him. But as you rightly said, 2 players in double figures, Dante Alexander batting down at the bottom half, ended up at 20. So no one really showed any inclination to settle and bat. There was no partnership. And therefore, it was a deplorable batting performance.
Yeah, it really was a bad batting performance by the the Bailey Blasters. Great performance by the Ginger Generals, who got off to a nice rousing start, losing the first wicket at 85 and went on to score 135. It was always going to be a difficult task for Bailey Blasters to overhaul, but I still think that their attempt at that total was mediocre, really. There was no spirit, there was no passion, no real desire, and Ginger Generals having won by 64 runs. There's some work, of course, going on there out there. The pitch is being rolled in preparation for the final match of the afternoon, and we're getting ready for the post-match ceremony. We're just waiting for the advent of Rondell John, who, of course, will conduct that, and we'll be getting the player of the match and, of course, the bowler of the match too, and power 6 hitters also. So just waiting until they're ready, and then we're going to go right over. But Rafael, so far we've had dream weather for the competition, and we have not had any major interruptions, so to speak. That augurs very good for the competition.
Yeah, we are blessed with tremendous weather throughout the tournament, which started on Monday. And all the games have been able to play successfully. And this really is a credit to the organization in terms of how this game was scheduled. And we're able to play off. Today being Saturday, we have three matches today. And again, on time, with no disruption. So it all goes good for the cricket. Again, one can mention the support we have outside there in terms of the crowd, the person that would have come around. It's so good to see that some even of our old players that is involved being around, just add some encouragement to what is happening with the game. And organizers can be really pleased with the way that the tournament has gone so far.
I think by and large, yes. And I'm also happy to see the various teams fielding all the players. And not only that, Rafael, but there's been a nice mixture, a nice blend of senior players and young players, the Williams, the Murray brothers, Jeremiah. Those are young players who can play alongside the most senior players to be able to glean and garner as much experience as possible and learn from those who have been on the field of play longer and older than they are.
Yeah, you're right. Very evident in all the team. There are a number of young players being involved. And I could tell you players who have just come off this year's under-19 tournament are involved. And really, it's good for the players. They can only develop having the opportunity of playing with the senior players in the senior tournament. It goes good for the development of our cricket. And one should really applaud the efforts of the organizers to make sure that the young players are being involved in the tournament.
Yeah. Well, this is the 5th edition, I think, of the competition, which has gained tremendous recognition regionally and beyond. And I think we can now go downstairs to Rondell John.
All right, so not quite ready yet. They are just making the final preparation. As we see the wicket once again being rolled for the final game. One imagine that this final encounter again. As they're ready for us, we go down to Ronald John.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Rafael. I'm here with Micah Narayan. Micah, this match really not going in your favor.
Well, I would say that I think when you're playing cricket and you drop chances, but that's capitalize on it, and this is what happened in today's game.
All right, so you're fielding, you need some improvement. Tell us about the bowlers and the way they bowl.
I think we bowling not in right areas. They didn't stick to the plan, and we're dropping catches, as I said, and that's cost us the game.
All right, well, you know the areas that you need to improve, and so we want to wish you good luck as you go ahead in the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, so there you had it, Micah Narayan of the Bayleaf Blasters, and now we're going to have the presentations. We are going to go into the presentations, and we are going to ask Mr. Ryan Boyd to assist us. And so we're going to begin with the impact bowler. We want to begin with the impact bowler. And so that impact bowler is none other than John L. Eugene. All right, so thank you very much, Mr. Boyd. John L., again amongst the wickets, being economical. You seem to have the formula for the wicket.
Yes, the wicket is working in my favor and also our other bowlers as well. Well, I just tend to just slow up the ball a little bit, give the batsman no pace to work with, and just bowl in the good areas and just let the wicket do what it's doing.
Well, you really did well. I think you assessed the conditions really well, and so we want to wish you best of luck as you continue in the tournament.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was John L. Eugene, and now we are going to have the Carib power hitter, and also following that we're going to have the man of the match, because Johan Jeremiah is our winner of both awards. All right, Johan, a win for you today. You seem to be getting there. Early loss, but you were able to push us aside. Tell us about your team and the mood of the team right now.
Yeah, so far we've been building a good vibe coming into the last two games. You know, it's just for us to just keep this momentum moving forward. I think the bowler has been doing a really good job for us. So we as batsmen just have to go there and put on a reasonable total so that the bowlers could, you know, defend it.
Well, you got off really quickly in this match. The first 6 overs, you didn't lose a wicket and you had some 80-something runs on the board. That must have really give confidence to your team that you could post a total that you did.
Yeah, I just took a different approach today. You know, I said once I bat through for a little while, you know, I would set up the game for the batsmen to come. You know, I think in the first 3 games, you know, a lot of people was getting worried that, you know, I didn't get off the mark, you know, but sometimes that's just how the game goes. You know, it's not how well you start, but it's how well you can end. So, yeah.
All right, so that was Johan Jeremiah, the captain of the Ginger Generals, also the man of the match, also the Carib power hitter. Thank you very much, Johan. Good luck to you. All right, so that brings an end to the post-match presentation for this match. We still have one more encounter to come. The Nutmeg will face off against the Cinnamon, and that will be a really epic encounter. It's Ryan John versus Andre Fletcher. So see you in a few minutes' time when we will have ball 1. The Nutmeg Warriors, they will be batting. Cinnamon Pacers, they will be fielding. See you then.